Well, some of you weren't around for the last stream, and I don't like breaking the stream up, but I had to run to the store, so it's okay. I went live early. I knew I'd have to do it. I thought about maybe not doing a second stream, but after what just happened, I need to process it. You see, when this happens, I believe it's an anger response. It's a person being unable to control their anger and them doing something publicly that they're not happy with. And then I believe that when others see it and they go to talk about it, we become the bad guys or the enemy, literally, because we witnessed what happened and we're not willing to just let it go. I think that in that lie crime community, that what I call the fake true crime community, or the drama community that fakes or hides as true crime to try to make money off that community and the tragedies that are there. In my opinion, they have a ignore the bigger channels having their breakdowns rule of their game. In order to play, you got to pay. And one of the tolls you got to pay is you got to be willing to ignore the doxing, ignore the lies, and not bring them up and talk about them. It's why you'll see channels around Molly and Betty and others who support them and interact with them, but never expose them in the way that they would expose other people if those people had done what we just saw. And some of you don't even know what we just saw happen yet, but it happened in front of our faces live. We witnessed it. It's recorded in my last stream. It's there. Did someone say lobster? Listen, Nonsense has everything, my opinion, in line and in order as an adult to where she should be able to handle what's about to happen. Now, for those of you that don't know, about a month into me reporting on the Letitia fraud raiser, they decided to target me in the exact same way you just saw her target Nonsense. They went live. Molly sat there yelling and screaming and bugging out about me. You know, she even tried to imply some kind of doxy scenario against me again in the Nonsense stream, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But the one thing that happened, so Molly goes live, and she typically, like when she did it to me, she was live for a couple hours. She'll sit there and talk about me and incite her audience against me, and she'll start to lie about the person she's talking about. When it came to me, she was telling them that I was lying on her, and I'd never told a single lie about her. At that time, I was figuring the story out. This is before, about a month and 3 weeks in, I came to the conclusion that it was a fraud raiser. It was after Letitia had siphoned the money out of the account and ran. So at about the 3 weeks to the 1 month mark, when she did this little thing against me to incite the mess that she just incited towards Nonsense against me, I was in the stage of the story where I hadn't said that it was a fraud raiser. I hadn't said that they were complicit or anything like that. You know, we were still collecting evidence and discussing things, and she took a really early shot against me. Now, what happened was, while she's live, these people go out and try to figure out who I am, where I live, who social media accounts that are out there might know me or are family members of mine, and they message them and DM them and say a bunch of disgusting, the stuff you see in their chat. If you could imagine what they would say when no one's looking in DMs on a sock account or anything you can imagine, they do it. They say it. They do everything they can to try and get the family to call the YouTuber and say, why is this person threatening me because of your YouTube channel? Why are these people doing this to me because you did something on the internet? And while that didn't happen to me, a couple people they tried to do it to that were my family members called me and laughed about it and were like, you got somebody else flipping out, don't you? Because again, Molly, and I tried to warn her about this when it came to me, nothing that she can do will ever rival what happened when I challenged that huge group of political YouTubers and their audience and debunking their theories that they followed. So It was just basically another day in my world. Though nonsense, I don't know how much she's been online or how long she's been online or any of that. And I don't know if she's experienced this before. I went into her comments section when I first found out that she had been doxxed today. And I let her know, listen, they're just going to say a bunch of stuff towards you. They're going to try to make you think that they're coming after you. And the best thing to do is just ignore it all and just have a family member of yours, or if you have a lawyer, collect all of it and get it all saved into a file and a folder so that you can give it to the authorities and let them know what happened and have them hopefully be able to contact the authorities where these people live and do something about it. But the point, no, hold on. I didn't say all of that in her comment section, but I have said it live. So I did a little bit live and a little bit in the comment section. Either way, the point is, Molly does this on purpose. She has decided to demonstrate to us again the danger of her community that she's built. Because instead of getting up here, like I said in my last stream, and telling people not to dox, not to attack, not to harass, she's done the opposite for so long that these people literally are programmed into doing it. And I'm just so glad that a lot of the people that have watched me, Nonsense, and others lately, I'm glad you guys didn't fall into that kind of thing, because they get in your head. They really do make you feel like you have to do this kind of stuff to defend them or support them. They make you kind of feel special for being the person who does it because they can't, because they're the YouTuber. So they can't do what you're about to do. But don't worry, because it's not wrong or something. They make excuses. They give you all these reasons, right? So again, it's like, I have sympathy not just for the people that are, not just for Nonsense, but even people out there that are being lied to. They're being told things about myself and Nonsense and others that just aren't true to make people feel justified in going and doing this to them, okay? It's not like they go and give clips of what we've said to their people and then say, now you should go get them. Because if they did, their people would say, hold on, they're just reacting to what you're doing. They're giving the same reaction anyone would give if a regular person anywhere in the world, I don't care where it is, in the civilized world, if you put in front of them what they're doing, they would react in the same way that we are. The only difference is in the lie crime community, these people have built a defense network of other YouTubers that are too scared to make videos calling out Molly and Betty and the top, gangsters of their community when they do this. So now that other YouTubers are watching it happen, now that we, because we cover fraud raisers, have been exposed to this community, and now because we are looking at how they've built a structure to protect the fraud raisers and protect this little thing they've got going on, we have to witness this kind of thing. It is in line with the content that we do. I cover fraud raisers and scams and other content on YouTube that literally is supported by the behavior that Molly is showing us. So she can't say that I'm just covering this for no reason, or that I'm, covering this to obsess over her, or whatever it is that she makes up. I'm covering this because it's another example of what she did during that fraud raiser to people that politely and kindly asked for a refund on their donations. Hope said Molly was just in Nonsense's live and she told her Nonsense lost. Lost? So this is just a big game to Molly? People's businesses, people's homes, people's kids, people's lives is just a game to Molly? That's what a narcissist would say. That is what a hardcore, malignant narcissist would say to somebody after doxing them. Now, Nonsense is a victim of Molly Golightly. There's no argument. There is no argument. Molly did something wrong, violated the privacy and many other disrespectful things to Nonsense, and was very abusive to her and incited very abusive treatment towards Nonsense. Then she goes in and tries to act like she lost the game, right? Because the game to Molly, you know what that means? Is Nonsense live right now? Is Nonsense live? Molly was just in there. Let's pull up Nonsense's live if she's live. She is. I just saw it. Like I said, everything's happening so fast. I just started up.
I think there is a YouTube studio in her trunk, but we're not allowed to talk about the trunk. So we'll go back to the turtleneck.
In all honesty, I have made a few pokes at her looks and a few others. Like, I have said a few things, so I can't claim 100% innocence there either.
In my opinion, if you do jokes, if they're jokes when you do it, there's nothing wrong with that. Comedy is fine.
I'm petty as fuck. Hey, Unirock, thank you for covering all this and talking about it. Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm great. I'm enjoying this. I don't know.
Uni, you missed it. Molly came into the live in the comments, and we even confirmed it was her real page. She came here before she went to go do a live. She came here to talk to Nonsense. You freaking missed it. I'd never seen that before.
Mercedes, that's the weird part, is because neither one of them are blocked back there. There's nothing there.
And for the people who are watching the comments, like, oh my God, they're over there fangirling about Molly being in their comments. No, I just think it's fucking appalling that a person lies that much that they have to come into somebody else's exposure live to defend their lies. Like, that's what it is.
Oh, AJ, I don't really think it does. I'm not.
So Molly went in to, oh, Molly is live too now. I might go off the air because I don't like the kind of drama type streams. Maybe I'll just chill or something. I don't know, you know. I'll stay on for a while. It's just, I'm just trying to process what just happened. And why can't Molly just be a normal person? You know, at some point, if she has an issue with what we do, she should come talk to us. But she can't. Because if she does, it's not going to be an honest interaction. I'm not saying she'll be dishonest. It'll just be a front, right? You know, I really was just trying to get to the bottom of the Letitia fundraiser and give them the good advice that they needed to be able to not have an issue with the law when it was over. And if you look back at any of the content I did, that's what I did. All the advice I gave, if they would have taken that advice, they would have made a lot less money. They would have given those refunds, because that's the part of it that's wrong. Not giving the refunds, right? Taking those people that wanted refunds were correct in asking, because they were given false information about Letitia's role in Marvon's life. They had a lot of things withheld from them, and they had a false appearance made by Letitia. And when they found out the truth, they wanted their money back, and they siphoned the money out to stop them. And they shouldn't have done that. Yeah, Letitia would have only probably lost like $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000, but she still would have had a huge amount of people that donated money that would still have no clue, because they weren't logged into YouTube, they weren't paying attention. And I think we all know why they siphoned the money out of the account and stopped people from getting their refunds, because obviously the people that gave the biggest donations are going to know what's going on. The biggest donations are the ones that are going to be paying attention. They're the ones that wanted to see every step of the lawsuit. They were convinced that they were helping this child and Marvon, and that the things that they'd said about Dre were true. Now, I want to address something Molly said. She says she's mad because I said that she called Dre a murderer, and that she said that Dre starved the kids. Now, my problem is I played every bit of that live. I'm not lying on Molly when she says that Dre tried to murder Marvon. It was when they were saying that Dre was slipping poison into his stuff and bringing poisoned food into him. And I played her, and wasn't it LB and Justin sitting there while they all talked about how Dre could have snuck out because they said the shed couldn't have held him. What do you think you're trying to say when you say that the shed couldn't have held him? The only other person there is Dre. And Molly knows that she gave, I don't know how many, 15 different theories on how Dre did it to Marvon, and how even once he was in the hospital and she was visiting him, she must have been poisoning him, even though she didn't have access to do that. they had blood tests and everything, and they could see what was being put in his system. And when they went and made that ethical complaint to the hospital, Letitia told everybody, they laughed her out of the ethics board because it wasn't true. So I'm sorry, you want to sit there and get mad at me because I told people that you said that Dre murmured, because I can't say the other word without getting demonetized, but because Dre, you accused her of murmuring her husband. You did. Go back and watch your videos. Did Molly forget that she did this or something? Or I don't think she did. I think she's just not wanting to admit it because she knows that if she did accuse Dre of that, and if she did accuse Dre of attempted murmur on the kids or anything like that, which, by the way, you did, Molly, that it would look really bad for her now that the truth is out about Dre. Again, you have to remember, when they were doing this to Dre, they didn't know how many videos were out there. A lot of Dre's main videos of her doing daily stuff were member-only videos. So there were all these videos out there of her feeding the kids and hanging out with the kids and hanging out with Marvon, that those videos weren't, unless you subscribe to Dre with the payment, visible to you. Now, there were a large amount of videos visible to everybody that did show all of that, but in the same respect, you know what I'm saying, right? And so if you create, now when she made up all this murmur stuff about Dre and she made up all the starvation stuff about Dre, as everybody knows, doing that, when those live streams and when we started to watch all the live streams and showed video after video after video of all the kids cooking, because they ate together. They cooked the food together and they ate together and they sat together and they did everything together. They did schoolwork together. They everything from wake up to sleep. Everything they did was together, this happy family. And seeing how much content was there with that, it busted the narrative that Dre starved the kids. It busted the narrative that Dre was abusive to the family or abusive to Marvon, right? So my point is, maybe now she just doesn't want to admit that she did and said all of those things. But then again, this is what gaslighting does to people. It's why it's destructive. It's why I'm trying to help Molly by understanding how destructive gaslighting is. And her audience is the ones that are going to suffer the most here, because any of her audience members that watched her sit there and yell and scream about how, he said that I murdered Dre, they're remembering you sitting there for hours with, you would sit and hold the rope up while you talked about all this stuff. And I just can't fathom it myself, experiencing this. Imagine, you guys are watching this all unfold. Imagine what it's like to sit in this chair. I want to be mad at her. I want to sit here and be like, you're a fucking liar. And I want to call her out and everything. But I've been through this for so long. I know what I got to do to get, to have my show kind of go forward while covering this without all that, theatrics. The point is, though, it is really extreme for me to experience someone gaslight that hard, And then I've seen so many people do it. You really got to ask yourself, do they do this naturally? Is this a natural response? Like, is she in control? Does she know she's gaslighting this hard? Or like, how it sounds so extreme for her to sit there and try to say that she didn't accuse Dre of murdering Marvon, because she did. She didn't accuse Dre of starving the kids. You didn't accuse Dre of all this crazy stuff and all these videos that we have. What? They're just they just don't count, I guess, right? Like all the evidence just doesn't count. Now, the worst part is there are going to be people in her audience that literally will allow her to change their minds. There's going to be a small percentage of those people that are in her audience that are going to remember her sitting there doing all the content about how Dre did it and all this, that Dre must have done it content. And they're going to hear Molly saying, he's saying that I accused Dre of doing it to Marvon. And they're going to actually change their minds and say, that is mean of him to claim that Molly said that, right? And that's the sad part, because you have to ask yourself, how is unless they're 12 years old watching Molly, how in the world can anybody watch Molly for all that time while she's live about Dre and then listen to her tonight yell at the top of her lungs, offended that people would say Molly accused Dre of murmur? Offended? You're mad that people state the truth? Are you wanting that to change or something? Are you wanting to change that about the truth really bad and you're just mad that I'm not going to let it happen or what? I don't understand. Missing puzzle pieces is in here? Good. I was checking your channel out. I need to play some more of your stuff sometime soon. It's so sad because you notice the people that are out there like us, we've covered Dre and Marvon and that whole issue in a more complete way, in a more honest and complete and fact-checkable way, times 1,000 than anything Molly or the rest of them did. And we did a lot of it after they were done and they just moved on from the story. And then they still want to be able to just jump up out of nowhere and say, justice for Marvon, or we love Marvon, or we care about Marvon or something. What? Well, then where have you been? You know, puzzle pieces, myself, nonsense. We're the ones that have literally carried this story the entire time, doing our best to get the truth out there about it and educate people to where they themselves can go fact check the truth about the situation. That's literally what we've all been doing. Now, I'm not going to say that, you know, I've done it better than nonsense or puzzle pieces because I haven't, but I've been trying to help. And to see them all move on from that story just like it was old news now, it's baffling. Molly can get away with so much and never get in trouble, and she knows that it makes me sick. Not if people go and report that video where she docks nonsense. If that video gets reported and it goes to YouTube, if people go to Twitter and they report it to Team YouTube, where you tag Team YouTube, you give them a link to the video and you ask them how are creators, monetized creators, acting like this on the platform, eventually it's going to catch up. These instances are going to fast forward that process too. It's just a long, hard road. I told everybody it's probably going to be a long, hard road when we started doing this. And honestly, I would like it just to go away. I would rather none of this happen. I'd rather Molly be able to make content of some kind that doesn't involve exploiting tragedies and doesn't involve doxing creators. And I'd love for us to be able to cover anything out there in the public that we want to cover without someone like Molly trying to dox us and send these obsessed, out of their mind people. You know, it just kind of proves this whole thing that people say about some people being led by others, you know? And YouTube and Twitter and Facebook will ban people for getting groups of people together to do certain things like, you know, conspiracy theories or some type of, you know, bad medical information or whatever. Though also they ban people if they get together to harass other people. If a creator or someone leads people to go around harassing other people, they will delete Reddit boards, they will delete YouTubers, they will delete Twitter users, Facebook users. So for Molly to be sitting here right now, the thing that's stopping Molly from getting in trouble is that more people aren't actively going out and actually doing it. They're not going out and tagging Team YouTube enough, and nobody's going around finding the videos where she does this and reporting it to the platform. And again, I'm not going to tell you what choice to make. I am going to say the difference in it happening, her getting in trouble and her not, is whether people do that. Unfortunately, that's the case. So it's not easy. You know, people have to be diligent. They have to, you know, when you report, you have to report. It'll give you a timestamp. It'll say what timestamp did this occur at the very top of the report, and you have to put the correct timestamp. They need to be able to check that report and it start playing where she directly threatens nonsense. And if they see that, then they'll go watch the entire thing once they know, okay, this definitely is a good report. And you got to understand the reason why, because YouTube gets so many people that false report, and they can't allow false reports to take down channels because it affects those businesses. So, you know, they have to be protective, and that's what Molly is skirting off of. She's skirting off of the protectiveness of the false reports that so many people file every day, and the also when people file a report, not making sure they're on the right timestamp. You need to pause it right before it goes into the worst part, file the report, and enough people have to do it so that the algorithm says, we need to get a human being to look at this. because the algorithm checks to see if it's a false report. And if the algorithm says human, we need a human, then now a person's going to look at it. And you already know if a person sees what happened tonight, they're going to take the video down, and they're probably going to take her monetization away, if not ban her. And I'm, you know, I don't have to feel bad about that. Nonsense doesn't have to. None of you have to. We've begged Molly to stop doing this. It's because it's fucking a horrible violation of terms of service. And on top of that, she knows why she does it. It's to scare people that criticize her away. Guess what else Molly said yesterday or today? She was complaining that she didn't make enough money this month on YouTube, that she wanted to make more money. And she did make a good amount of money, but she's mad because she didn't make the amount of money that she thought she should make. She's out there making more money than people with, 10 times as many subscribers as her because of the tactics that she uses. Regular YouTubers can't use those tactics because those tactics exploit the audience. And so the exploitative tactics will get you demonetized. Maybe not right now, but you are guaranteed to have it happen, especially when you get near that 100,000 subscriber mark, right? That's the thing that really does it, because you get a very complex review of your channel done when you hit 100,000. And it's done by a human review team because they have to verify you. So then on top of that, they will look at your deleted videos, your privated videos. They'll look at all the reports, the big surges of reports that come in on your channel. And that's another thing that those reports do. So it may not help right now, but every report, only when it's done correctly, eventually helps. And this is what Molly doesn't understand. Molly thinks she's invincible, but there are milestones on YouTube that she's going to hit where they are going to check her in a very complex way. And do you think they're not going to see this? This is prolific. She does this so much. They're bound to click on and be watching her doxing somebody right out in the open. I mean, what is today? Monday? Yeah, it's a damn Monday. It's a Monday. Now, I want to make sure you all know exactly what happened. So I'm going to actually, I know this is the evening show. Hey guys, good to see you. Crazy day. Let me bring you in if you just got here, if you don't know what's happened tonight or today, and let me update you because it's been a nutty ride, and then let me tell you what's going on right now. So earlier today, I was getting prepped up for a show, and people came in and said, Molly just doxed Nonsense. Well, they said Nonsense just got doxed. It was Molly. Now, what had happened was Nonsense was live streaming. Someone came in on a sock account in her live chat. If I'm wrong on anything I say, correct me in the chat, because everything just happened. It's breaking stuff, breaking news. And a sock account comes in, as far as I'm understanding, to Nonsense's live and types Nonsense's legal name and docs into the chat. So Nonsense said fuck it and showed her face. Nonsense did not state her first and last name or her address or any identifying information, Molly. So when I found out what happened, I went live immediately. I immediately tried to grab whatever was out there, and I have more stuff I haven't even shown you yet. And I rushed in to go live. Now, I might bring some of that stuff up in a minute, but let me catch everybody up before we do. I go live and I explain how the reason Nonsense is doxed is because she talks about Molly. And the group of people that Molly works with incite doxing and harassment from their audience. The evidence is overwhelming. I started to show video clips. I started to show on my channel where I have this all backed up and proven. So then, somehow, out of the blue, Molly was watching my show, and she goes live. And her title was basically Nonsense's first and last name and the word case. So she admitted in her title she has an open investigation case to discover Nonsense's personal information. As she's streaming, she starts to get angry and starts yelling. I have all of the stream, by the way. It's live on her second channel right now. Oh, I know, Fork. We'll get through it. We're going to get through it, Fork. And our community will be better and bigger for it. And we will have positive outcomes. So just hold in there, buddy. We got this. We got this. Nonsense is being strong as hell. Nonsense is live right now. And Nonsense and myself and any other creator that's live, we're not going to be mad if you jump between streams or if you want to watch her instead of me right now. I completely understand, okay? So, while Molly's live and she gets angrier and angrier and angrier, she starts literally threatening Nonsense. And I'm going to play it for you right now. She starts to threaten her.
Husband is there. So yeah, I know the bitch knows that. I know she exists and that's her. So yeah, Becky, cut the shit and stop obsessing over me. There's no reason why your whole fucking channel should revolve around me, you fucking loser. Because that's what you are. If you're...
So ask yourself this. Why isn't she live telling her audience not to share any of Nonsense's personal information? Why isn't she telling them not to dox her, not to harass her, not to reach out to her, not to bombard her chat, or anything any normal, responsible creator is forced to do by the contract we have with YouTube, on top of the rules and on top of us just being respectful people? Why is she instead insulting her and getting angry? And then why does she say this? By the way, Molly, if it's true what you just said, then you're obsessed with Dre. You're a loser, and Dre is your queen, just so you know. Or Summer Wells, or any of the other people you talk about. But please continue.
Whole channel revolves around me. You...
So you can see what she's thinking about. I want you to follow her normal mannerisms, follow her normal kind of like flow here, because you know we're going to see the same old Molly when she did it to me, when she did it to others. It's the same thing. She's controlled by anger. She's getting crazier. Take a listen.
You are, in fact, a fucking loser, all right? You need to get fucking dick. If your husband is there, there's no reason that...
So you're saying the reason that you obsess over Dre is because of this, because you are projecting right now. Okay.
You should be sitting in front of a freaking camera obsessing over me, all right?
Pixelated. Oh my god, that's funny, dude. That's good. That's good.
You should be getting fucking pounded from behind, right? I'm just saying. You gotta have a fucking life. And now I know who you fucking are.
Here it comes. Now, again, keep in mind, I went live and told people not to dox Nonsense, not to obsess over people, to just react and give your opinion, because that's what we're here for. We are not creepers. We are not window peeping pervos. We're not trying to track people down. We're not obsessed. We can talk about people on our show and give our opinion on things and then talk about other stuff. Not you though, Molly. You are obsessed. You want to know where everyone lives. You want to know their family and threaten them. And then here it comes. Here it is. Get ready. Get ready.
And now we know your husband's fucking business. Oh, shit.
Now, this is a very interesting moment. And you're going to need to focus in on these 2 or 3 seconds. But first, let's let her finish.
Girl, you better watch it. You better fucking watch your shit. Is that a fucking threat? I'm not saying it isn't. I'm not fucking saying it isn't.
Now, this is a threat. Now, what is the correct answer if you're not threatening someone? Well, if it's anything but I am not threatening you, then it's a threat. Why? Because it's illegal to threaten somebody. That's when you're inciting. That's when you can get in trouble. Someone can call the police on you. You can lose your channel. So no one's going to just actively say completely yes. They're, instead of saying yes, always going to not really answer the question, or they're going to lead the question. So the only answer to that question that equates to it's not a threat is, no, it's not a threat. She didn't say that. Now, we're going to go back and analyze a little bit of Molly language here because she outs herself in these 3 seconds. Take a listen.
You better watch it. You better fucking watch a freaking camera obsessing over me. All right? You should be getting fucking name out of your fucking mouth. Not for nothing. Threat? You better watch this. Oh,
here it
I'm
is.
just saying.
Now listen to this. This is extremely important. Listen.
You gotta have a fucking life. And now I know who you fucking are. And now we know your husband's fucking business.
Okay. So Molly has been trying not to threaten people because she knows YouTube will eventually look at her channel. She knows our reporting and everybody out there that's sending things to Team YouTube, not just me, many people, and everybody who's tagging Team YouTube, everybody who's reporting when she does this, it's eventually going to take her channel down because she is violating TOS. And she's been attempting to stop that stuff and act normal, though she goes through waves where she gets more crazy and less crazy, right? So she accidentally threatens nonsense. Her anger does it. She does it out of anger and shocks herself so hard that she goes, oh my God. When she said, oh my God, it was her self shocking herself. It wasn't her saying it to nonsense. Listen to what I'm saying here. You'll hear it.
Oh shit.
She says, oh shit. Now listen to what she says right before oh shit.
And now I know who you fucking are. And now we know your husband's fucking business. Oh shit.
So she wanted to say, we know where your husband's business is and you better watch it. But she knows it's a threat and she scared herself. She said, oh God, if I do this, this could get sent into Team YouTube tonight and I could lose my channel tonight. And it made her literally in the middle of her threat against nonsense go, oh shit. She said, oh shit, because she shocked herself when she threatened nonsense. She scared herself. She realized she done goofed and it made her scream, oh shit. Listen again.
Life. And now I know who you fucking are. And now we know your husband's fucking business.
This shocked her and she scared herself right there. She goes, you can hear the gasp. You can hear the body language. You can hear the change.
Oh shit.
When I first unpaused, you heard, oh, listen again. Here, let me see if I can put this in slow motion. I should be able to. I'm not good with this video player. I'll do it on my other video player later, but listen.
Your husband's fucking business. Oh, husband's fucking business. Oh, husband's fucking business. Fucking business. Oh, shit. Girl.
You hear it? Now we know where your husband's business is. In an instant in her mind, she said, oh my God, I just threatened her and I could lose my channel. And so she gasped, oh shit. She wasn't saying, oh shit, the nonsense. She was saying it because she knew she done goofed. She done messed up. But the video gets a lot worse. I'm not just telling you she was watching my stream because I'm lying or something like she'll tell you I am. She literally brings me up. So I went live. And about 26 minutes, 24 minutes later, she goes live. And so I'm live for about 20 minutes talking about how we already know that it's Molly that did this. We already know why nonsense got doxxed. We already know that it's Molly, the way she's talked about nonsense, the way she's incited her audience. We have it all recorded that she needs to stop doing this. This is the things I'm saying. I'm sitting here telling you, I'm angry that she got doxxed. We're going to make sure YouTube finds out about this. We aren't going to stop now. And I said, we are after Christmas tagging Team YouTube with these links, with these clips, and we're going to go even harder to try to get YouTube to advance the report we sent in and actually tell us whether they're going to let her stay on the platform doing this all the time or whether they're actually going to enforce their rules, because we haven't heard from them yet. They haven't looked at Molly's channel yet. That's the little secret you don't realize here. And I know a lot of people are looking at this going, YouTube doesn't care. And in reality, YouTube does care. They care about money. They care that their rules are enforced, because if they don't, people can sue. They can get in trouble. They could maybe lose their platform. Something bad could happen. And it's not going to be this. This is a small creator. But then again, why shouldn't nonsense be able to sue YouTube and Molly? You've got a creator who literally is sitting here running fraud raisers, lying to people about what their money's going to be used for, protecting people that are stealing money from people, doxing people that ask for refunds, literally cursing people out, talking about their family, talking about their kids, talking about where they live, their houses, their husband, putting homes in their thumbnails, everything that's against TOS for months. If somebody took a lawsuit in, it wouldn't just wreck Molly, it would wreck YouTube to some extent. Now, YouTube would get out of it and put it on Molly, right? And they would just say that it slipped through their enforcement or something. But the point is, they would not just let Molly stay on the platform if they knew she was doing this. At least she would get strikes for this stuff. Then the very least, they would take the videos where she did this to people, strike them down for a guideline for abuse and harassment, and Molly, if she got 3 of them, would lose her channel and her partnership. That's the very least they would do if they knew what was going on, and Molly knows it. She's not as dumb as she plays she is. And she might be, but she still has other people that are telling her the truth in some capacity, okay? Now, the truth is, the minute that YouTube sees this, they're going to give us a response. Either they're okay with this happening on the platform or they're not. The fact that they have not done that yet shows they have not finished looking into Molly. So this instance, this happening, she knows if she threatens someone again, that it's going to YouTube. They will see it. And I think she knows that she screwed the pooch on this one. Now, I forgot again because of all the craziness tonight to do something. So give me 5 seconds while I remind you. Please hit the like button. It helps other people find our channel. Make sure you're subbed with the bell on to this channel and Unirock 2, because I will be uploading a full analysis of this video to Unirock 2 for those of you that don't get to see it or watch it. And if you really want to support us, I don't even have it pinned, do I? Please consider paypal.me/Unirock to support us, or any of the other methods we have in the description of this video. It is a couple days until YouTube pays us, so it's one of the best times to support, but it's completely optional, and all it does is help us continue to do our show. Now that I've gotten that out and I've pinned it to the top of the chat so people can find it, let's get back to my point. Now, I'll give her another second, because she then goes at me. She tries to tell people my state that I live in, and she starts complaining. I believe she called me a weasel or a pickle or something.
Bro, you better watch it. You better fucking watch your shit.
These are all threats. It's not just one threat. Not only did she threaten the husband, who is innocent. Innocent. She is admitting to everybody, if somebody makes us mad, we don't just go at that person. We go to find innocent people around that person who have no opinion, nothing to do with this, and we target them and harass them. And that way, if that YouTuber wants their family member not to be harassed, they're gonna have to stop talking about us or delete their channel.
Is that a fucking threat? I'm not saying it isn't. I'm not fucking saying it isn't.
Because you just admitted that it's a threat. It, by definition, is a threat. If that isn't a threat, nothing on the planet would ever be considered to be a threat. This is the most obvious threat out of some of the threats you've given. Not all, because you've done extremely direct threats in the past, but this is still very direct. You even admit that it is a threat. No, she didn't. She said, is it a threat? I'm not going to say it isn't. That is admitting it's a damn threat, people.
You better watch your fucking shit.
Another threat.
Keep my name out of your fucking mouth.
This is telling her the reason for the blackmail that the threat encompasses. Or the, what's another good word? It's not intrusion. It's, you know what I'm saying. Type it in the chat if you know what word I'm looking for. But it is a sense, it's a form of blackmail. If you don't stop talking about me, if you don't stop exposing me, I'm going to do things that aren't legal, that will violate your privacy, that will target innocent people around you, violate their privacy, threaten them, harass them, and come after you. The only way to get out of this is to keep Molly's name out of your mouth.
Because you're gonna fucking piss me off. I never clicked.
We know you're pissed. Oh, we know you're pissed off. Everybody on the planet Earth knows you're pissed off. Even the dinguses that liked this video on your channel know that you're pissed off. They just excuse your behavior, most likely because they also are just as harassing and abusive as you. Some people do support abusers, y'all. We have people out there right now that are rape apologists. We just had this happen. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but people will support the worst things. Sometimes it's because they admire the offender. Sometimes it's because they are in love with them. Sometimes it's because they want money from them or they get a benefit from them, or maybe they're in a community that that person leads. Whatever the reason is, it's not that people who actually fund and support this kind of thing aren't responsible or don't have some form of, play in it. It's just that it's a very small thing if they're not people that are actively pursuing nonsense. The ones that are actively pursuing nonsense are either equally as guilty as Molly or even more guilty than Molly, though.
On any of your fucking vid. I never
Incentive. Thank you, Arta.
clicked on any of your fucking videos.
Then she lies to the entire world and says, I've never even seen any of your videos. You've admitted to watching Nonsense's videos in the past. You legit do not remember the things you say. You legit forget an enormous amount of the things that you say and do. It's the only explanation other than that you are a very, very ordered liar. Are you putting on an act that you don't remember everything you say and do? Or is this you doing it on, putting on an act of doing it on purpose? Or is it just your memories affected? I don't know. But she goes on later in this video to say that she never accused Dre of murder and that I'm a weasel or something or a pickle because I said that she did.
That much. But you like fucking talking so much. You like lying? You like lying about it?
So then she realizes, uh-oh, my audience is going to now probably go watch this person's videos. Because she had her video, instead of it saying her first and last name in the beginning, it was Nonsense at first. It was her first name and Nonsense Case. Then she changed it to first last name Case. Hey, Molly, I got a newsflash for you. Guess what? You putting Nonsense's last name in the title of your video is an absolute dox, and you're not getting out of it. That's going to be a really big thing that sinks you there. I honestly just can't believe it. One thing I want to do is bitch at YouTube. I really do want to get mad at YouTube for a minute because the video is right here. It's not been taken down. It's been reported to all hell. The entire community went and reported this video because they're sick and tired of Molly doxing people, threatening more than... Look, if we even just ignore Nonsense for a second, just a second, we'll take Nonsense out of the equation. If we do take Nonsense out, is Molly still doing something wrong? Yes, because she threatened innocent people that are in Nonsense's life after doxing her. Somehow, the only thing that Nonsense admitted to was she showed her face and said her name was Becca, from what I can remember. Now, she said this in her video, and it's public on her channel, so it's not a dox. The dox is that Molly went live and said that she went and found her business and her husband's business. She went and found other details about Nonsense's life. She got her first and last name and then blasted it to everybody. And the other part of the docs, she threatened Nonsense's family. If we take Nonsense out of the picture, she is still doxing and threatening Nonsense's husband and other family. Okay, so let's put Nonsense back in the picture because there's literally no reason to take Nonsense out of the picture. Literally, this is what she's done for 5 years. When doxers like this start out on the platform, they do this behind the scenes. Some of you that have watched me for a few years might get bored for the next minute and 22 seconds, but I'm going to give you a little speech here. When they start, they hide the fact in the background that they're doxing people, and they do it in groups. They go into a Discord server, they go into a Facebook group, and they do the doxing there. Then, as a group, they go around and do the doxing together because they're a small creator. They're not a big creator. They don't have to worry about losing a business or anything if they get busted doing what they're doing. If someone in the group defects on them, grabs the history of the group, takes it to all the platforms, gets them banned, and gets them busted for what they've done, it's not going to affect them because they've got 100 subs. Though, when one of the doxers in the group ends up manipulating, clickbaiting, and going after tragedies and people in really bad situations to the point that they grow their YouTube channel, as the channel grows, the only way that they're going to succeed in growing a channel while doing all of these insane things that we've seen is because they're going to continue doxing criticizers and attempt to create an echo chamber. An echo chamber is a social structure where the people inside the echo chamber will listen to only what you have to say, and they will ignore any other opinion out there. One way that certain creators create and maintain an echo chamber is by doxing, threatening, blackmailing, and harassing people that will criticize them. And because they're a smaller creator, they're not getting a lot of attention, and the people that commentate against them are typically smaller creators too. They will succeed for a period of time in this structure that they've created. This is also one of the prime structures for creating a cult or creating a negative group of people. People, when they group together, they could group for soccer teams. They could group for religious reasons. They could group in order to have a social club. Those are good groups. Sometimes people that will go into groups will have a group corrupt, most likely because of the leader. So there are words that describe groups of people that are doing negative things. We have words like a gang. We have words like a cult, words like a mob of people. Depending on different situations, time periods, and social structures, you would use a different negative word to describe a group of people. In this situation, especially with the last group of scammers that we busted, we've determined through long periods of talking and thinking, the only best way to describe what these people do when they create a harassment group and use cult methods to structure it, defend it, and produce it is to call them a cult. If you call them a gang, it has a little bit of a bad, connotation, because what they're doing is on YouTube, the laws they're typically breaking are terms of service rules, not laws. And so saying that they're a mob or saying that they are a gang is a little extreme. Gangs typically do, things to really hurt people, and they deal drugs and things like that. That's not what we're seeing here. But what we are seeing is a social structure that's just as glued together as any group of people that physically are around each other. Also, though, not only do they use echo chambers to be able to grow and form and defend this social group that they have the financial structure there that supports the group. It supports the group through the person at the top of the group making the money. And they will find little reasons to filter money down. Now, the person is a narcissist. The person's a selfish person. A person is a cult leader in most situations. They don't want to give money to the people below them because those people are supposed to be working for the person at the top. So what they do is something like we saw yesterday and the day before with Molly's attack at Tea Sipping Mama. Tea Sipping Mama was a viewer of Molly's, joined her Patreon, and was asked to help with a printing of graphic design and t-shirts. And as you all heard yesterday or the day before, maybe it was the day before, Tea Sippin' Mama was given $300 by Molly. And of course, Tea Sippin' Mama was going to stay a patron for an amount of time where Molly would have got her money back. But when Tea Sippin' Mama was instead berated, used, lied to, yelled at, and treated unprofessionally by Molly, she decided to leave the patron after finishing the first deal they did. Molly wasn't going to have it. How's Molly going to make back her $300 if Tea Sippin' Mama leaves and isn't paying her patron money every month? Now that money has negatively affected Molly's business. And these are the exact words that we heard Molly use, actually. So anyway, back to the topic at hand. I do want you to understand there is a reason that they raise money in this scammy way. There's a reason for the fraud raisers, and there's a reason for the people they target who are in tragedies. But what I want you to understand more is that it's not just the financial burden that's there. It's also a structure of providing people to do the channel work. providing people to bring the doxes, bring the content, bring the details. She wants to be able to live her luxurious life, show up into a group in Facebook, Twitter, or Discord, wherever, and have everything handed to her, whether that person chooses to do it or not. It's part of the plan. And as long as those other YouTubers around her, like Justin, Betty, LB, and the smaller ones that make up the structure that they have, abide by the rules of the bigger YouTuber, which is never criticize Molly, never call Molly out. Hey, I'm going to call out Katie Joy for doxing. Wait a minute. You just sat next to Molly on panel while she doxed 3 people yesterday. That's pretty hypocritical. Why is it that they do that? Because, of course, they can't call out the person at the top. Like T-Sippin' Mama, like any of you who asked for refunds, like any of the other situations that came before. If you defect from the group in any way, it could be just opening your mouth to criticize. It could be going against the fraud raiser that they've got you stuck into. It could be any of the above or any of the other things that happened. If you defect, even just by criticizing, they are not going to just allow you to be friends and to be a positive person in the group while not getting along with the leader or the other YouTubers next to the leader. You have to be completely subservient to that structure of people in order for you to be allowed to stay in the greater structure of the group. And why have I gone to extreme detail to say the last 10 things I just said? Because all of it is evidence of one thing. Whether you want to call it a gang, whether you want to call it some kind of weird criminal YouTube organization or mob or something, whether you want to call it a cult, regardless, it is a group of people that are banded together to serve the people at the top and to make them money and to make their lives easier. And the people that work for them below are hoping that one day they're either going to get some cash or they're going to get some kind of social credit, some kind of social credential given to them by the group at the top. And that is what keeps them in check. It's what also provides a blockage for them to be able to dox, to be able to attack and lie, and to make more victims while they have people helping to defend them. So, what do you do in this kind of situation? What do you do when you like a creator, you like nonsense, you like the other creators around you, you want to support creators that entertain you, are good at what they do, educated on what they talk about, and can actually make it fun to listen to when you come to their channel? Though, if Molly and Betty and Justin and the rest of this group can dox, lie, create, things about their enemies like Uni lives in a basement and put that lie out there and get it to take a little bit of heat and roll around, while it might not affect me, maybe nonsense will get through what happened to her today. There are countless other YouTubers that could have been your favorite YouTuber that'll never have a chance on the platform. They will never get an opportunity to do what I'm doing, what Nonsense is doing, or God forbid, even be as big as Molly one day. And it's because they were doxxed, they were scared, they were quieted, and they had to go. You need to tag Team YouTube. You need to tag them with a link to this video on Molly's channel, still up, and you need to tell them that this is a dox against another creator, that at the 5-minute and 15-second mark, she threatens that creator. And you need to, if you want to do it underneath my Twitter at Unirock TV, where I've already put this tweet out, please do. We need Team YouTube to see what's going on here. We need them to tell us whether they're going to allow this to keep happening or whether they're going to finally enforce their rules, so that hopefully the good creators who do not do this to other people, who will not be controlled by anger, who will not go and target victims of tragedies, who will not go out and lie on people, defame people, and then pretend as if they're the victim. We need Team YouTube to tell us whether they support this or whether they're going to support the entire community. I did. I finally hung the painting, and I've been told that the painting is from like 1902. Now, I don't think this painting is as old as 1902. But I do think it is a painting from 1902 that was reprinted a little earlier than that. It probably is from the 60s or 70s. I'm not sure. I'm going to find out when this painting was made and when this print was made. And I'm going to tell you about it someday because it's pretty cool. There's this little paper. You see it? See that little paper? It came with it. It says 1902 on it. I just don't believe it's from 1902. I'm going to do a little bit of research. We'll see what happens. Back to the topic at hand. Guys, we got 2 days until YouTube payday. So if you want to support me, I'd really appreciate it. I would probably order something to eat or, you know, maybe buy a Red Bull tomorrow. But either way, it's paypal.me/unirock to support our show. And there are ways for, if you don't want to use PayPal, Patreon accepts everything else. The link is down there. And if you want to use Cash App, the link is down in the description, or you can ask the mods for it. Well, the next thing for me to do after giving you my thoughts on this situation is to find out what you think. And I want you to be honest. I don't want my mods to ban people unless they're breaking TOS, threatening somebody, or spamming, lying, or self-promoting. But I want to know what you think. This shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't have happened when she did it to me. Shouldn't have happened a year ago when she did it to other people. Shouldn't have happened 2 years ago. And now we found out about Melissa Schumann. We finally know that there is a woman out there who's been accusing Nick Carter of some things for a long time. And from the claim that's been put out there, from what I've been told by other people, that is the thing that caused Molly to start her YouTube channel. She decided she was going to go after Melissa Schumann. She was kind of going to hate on this woman who was a singer and kind of a celebrity who had opened her mouth to expose other celebrities of wrongdoing according to her. I don't believe anybody. I'm not taking any sides. I'm here to figure out the story, as you know, so don't accuse me of supporting Melissa or don't accuse me of supporting Nick. All I support is the truth, and I don't know what it is yet. Though, Melissa Schumann holds the key to Molly and her generation onto this platform. We're not going to be diving into that now tonight. We were going to until this whole doxing incident happened with nonsense. So what I'm going to do is pull up my live chat and just see what you guys are saying about this thing right now. So to give you enough time to kind of type in there, I'm going to scroll up and down and see what you guys have been saying. And yes, I'll give you some rocks, but I want to do it after I check the chat because the rocks will push everything out of the chat because you know how that goes. So here we go. Let me take a look at my chat for a second. Please tell me what you think. And I mean, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say. Check general. Will do, Janelle. Thank you. Oh, yes, I saw that. Yeah, I have never even brought up Penelope, I think, at all. I think I had to say her name one time earlier today. I don't recall ever saying anything negative about Penelope. But who knows? They're probably just bullshitting like usual. I might be old info. Uni's mentioned in a comment in one of Penelope's community posts from 5 hours ago. The one that says something about nonsense and Nunya will say she tried to dox nonsense. She tried to that will say something about nonsense and Nunya will she's saying that nonsense and Nunya are going to blame Penelope for doxing nonsense. Now, there is some information that I need to bring up to you. That reminds me. But anyway, let me handle this. The one that says something about blah, 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 blah. Someone in the comments is telling her to include Uni in her police report about nonsense harassing her. Comment is by -X. You know, people will type anything on the internet. I have no idea who Penelope is, what her game is, or any of that stuff. The only time Penelope even came up at all that I can remember, did she come up about the Letitia Fraud-Raiser thing at all? I kind of remember a Penelope YouTube channel being mentioned, but that was just for information purposes. Nobody said anything about her. Either way, she can include my name in whatever she wants because they're not going to find any clips of me doing anything wrong. My content, unfortunately for them, it speaks for itself. Pull the clip and prove what you're trying to say I said or did, because it's all there. So good luck, because it's not there. It didn't happen. Though, this is interesting because here's what happened. Molly I went live. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Nonsense went live. Someone doxed her in her live chat. Nonsense showed her face and talked about it. I went live and I was pissed off because of what happened. Then Molly went live like 20 minutes later and started to get madder and madder and madder. That is the video I just showed you. This is where Molly went live while I was live and started to eventually dox the living shit out of Nonsense, threaten the living shit out of Nonsense and all that. And that's what we've been talking about tonight. Then I ended my stream and decided that I was going to come back online. So let's see here. What happened next? Oh, right after, while I was getting ready to go live, while I was getting ready to do this video, I had to search to see if this video was still up because Molly typically takes these videos down when she does this to people, right? So it was up. It's still on her channel. Let's refresh it and just make sure here. Yep. YouTube has not taken it down. I can't believe it. Molly hasn't taken it down. I can't believe it. Because if enough people report this, it's going to go down, Molly. It's at the 5-minute and 15-second mark where you threatened her like that. You just got to stop. You're out of control. Anyway, after that happened, right before I was going to go live, Molly decided that she was going to go get drunk after threatening Nonsense and do a stream titled "She's Crying Drunkard," and then she doxes Nonsense's name again, Case. I don't know what this means. Crying drunkard? She's crying drunkard. Molly, listen, if you want to go into a hotel room and e-beg your audience like crazy, and you want to then, after doing that, while out of your mind, you are not acting normal. You want to get mad that people give commentary on that. I think what you should do is stop going live in the hotel rooms and doing that in the first place. Because I don't know what you thought was going to happen when your YouTube channel clickbaited a really horrible situation, lied about it, and then got a bunch of subscribers out of it. I don't know if you thought people weren't going to talk about you once they found out all the stuff you've been doing on the platform. I don't know what you thought was going to happen, but you wanted this. You wanted to be a YouTuber. You wanted to be someone that came to the platform and went up against other people in commentary and discussion. You got your wish, and now all you can do is complain. All you can do is sit and whine and cry about everybody else who's discussing what you're doing. And you try to lie on them, constantly saying that Nonsense is, I don't know, obsessed with you and she's doing something wrong by doing her content. You lie about me and say that I'm lying on you, even though everything I react to is your own words, your own statements, your own proclamations. And you then go out and get mad at us for discussing. If you're going to earn that many subs through your insanity, through that clickbait and that disgusting behavior about Marvon, and then you're going to turn around and do all this insane stuff you do on your channel, people are going to talk about it, Molly. It's guaranteed to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's going to happen. I mean, imagine if Dre, could you imagine back during the Dre case that if Slay with Dre McCrae decided that she was going to get messed up in a hotel room and start dancing around, screaming and yelling, demanding that people donate to her, right? Could you freaking imagine what Molly and Letitia and Justin and LB would have said? They would have been live for hours covering every single second of the video of Dre doing that. But for some reason, even though this is what they do, we're bad people because we do it, but we don't lie when we do it. We're not even insulting you when we do it. Well, we might tell some jokes here and there, but for God's sakes, they're just jokes. Come on. Do they hurt your feelings? Is that what's wrong? I mean, because I don't even do anything more than stupid dad jokes. My jokes are silly because I get so scared of YouTube taking one of my jokes the wrong way that I do dumb dad jokes. It just doesn't make sense. Now, I didn't really want to click on her being drunk or drinking. I can't say that. If I say she's being drunk, she's going to flip out on me. I don't even want to really watch the video of her drinking at the bar after, or at the restaurant or wherever she is, after doing what she did to Nonsense. But it's right here. This is her channel, Live with Molly Golightly. This is where, oh, she changed the thumbnail again. So why did she change the thumbnail again? That's the worst thumbnail I've ever seen. Why is Molly's head coming out of Nonsense's armpit? Why did you edit your head into her armpit, Molly? You live in her armpit? Is that the message here? Are you trying to say you want your head stuck to her? I don't understand this thumbnail. Your eyes are kind of crossed. Why are your eyes kind of crossed? Molly, I just don't get it. Anybody, do you guys, this isn't, how long is this? 14 minutes? Check my PayPal, says Alice. Will do. Thank you if you did dono, because it's like a couple days before we get paid by YouTube, so it really helps. So thank you, Alice. That's so kind of you. Really appreciate you. I appreciate everybody, but you know what I'm saying. Do you guys, did anybody watch this? I'd rather you guys tell me what she did here. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody watched the video, she's crying drunkard, and then she puts, I don't even want to say Nonsense. You know what I'm going to say? If I have to say Nonsense's name, I'm just going to call Nonsense Becky, okay? Because I just think that's nicer or something. Like, I don't fucking know. And thank you, Alice. Very kind of you. Appreciate you. Definitely. Let me see what you guys are saying about this. Hope says she's got Nonsense's whole name not only in the thumbnail, she went back and added Nonsense's name here and Nonsense's name here, and then put Nonsense's name in the thumbnail. She's doing it to kind of taunt everybody, because when she put Nonsense's name into her first title for this video, it wasn't this. This wasn't here. And so I had said that Molly really messed up by releasing Nonsense's last name like she did, because she did dox Nonsense's last name. Now, since she's done it, there's no way around it. Like, it's out there now. It's everywhere. Thanks to Molly putting it out, because Nonsense didn't put it out on her. I watched Nonsense's video and I did not see Nonsense say her last name, release her last name. She called herself Becky, but if I missed something, I don't know. I guess I could have, but yeah, Nonsense showed herself and took the power away. So now they're all mad. And you know what they're even more mad about? They're mad because everybody is complimenting Nonsense. Everybody sees that Nonsense is a regular person, that she's got a nice little spot she's chilling in, right? And it's a pretty little room that she's in broadcasting, because that's all we could see. And there's, you know, everybody's just still supporting the living hell out of Nonsense. There wasn't anything for them to try to use. Janelle says Penelope put on her community 20-ish minutes ago that she got emails with Nonsense's number, DL number, Yall, and other stuff. Penelope and Molly are going hard on her, and still Nonsense hasn't doxed. Exactly. Cherie says, I'm recording it. She's eating dinner and claiming she went to Nonsense's channel, and she's crying on a stream drunk because Molly MGL now knows who she is. R Top says she's trying to pull a power play, like saying you can't stop me. Exactly. She is trying. She, in her mind, you know what she did? She went into Nonsense's live chat before she did the drunken stream, and she typed, "You lost," the Nonsense. So she's admitting she doxed her. She's saying, I found your identity and doxed you. You lost. Because she's so mad that Nonsense put her face out before Molly could. You know? if it's just 14 minutes, can we just watch through? If you want, Charles, yeah, if you want to, we can definitely click it. Yeah. Definitely. Now, I do want to say, if you believe that this is wrong, like I do, where at the 5-minute and 15-second mark, she goes in and threatens Nonsense's husband and business and Nonsense, then it's your decision what you do about that. I can't tell you what to do there, but I can ask you to go to Twitter at Unirock TV, hit the reply on my tweet where I tag Team YouTube, and also tag Team YouTube and tell them what you think about this. I'm going to try to retweet this tweet to the top. Oh, it's going to put it under my tweets and replies, isn't it? Son of a bitch. I hate that Twitter does this. Right here. I'm going to retweet this so it'll be at the top, right? And if you will, go here, click this, type at Team YouTube, and then ask them how, you know, tell them whatever you want to say. I put, how does a YouTube partner do this over and over? This video, about 5 minutes or so in, live now when I posted this out, she threatens another creator after she was doxxed, says she knows who she is, where her husband and her work, and that it is a threat. Right? So if you want to click this button and type what you want to say, make sure you hit at Team YouTube. I can ask you to do that. I can't tell you what to report, but I can ask you to do that. Right? So some of you want to watch this. I don't mind watching a little bit of it. Jeez Louise, Papa Cheesemo. It's going to be a mess. Let's just, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to skip through it. I'm going to skip through it just to see what she said. Okay?
Okay. So, listen. All right, so we just took a quick little trip over to, God, what's her name? We went over to Becky's channel. Yeah, we went over to Becky's channel, and she's drunk. She is drunk, and she is...
What do you mean she's drunk? She didn't sound drunk to me. Why is she saying that Nonsense is drunk? Why do we have to do this whole live stream battle bullshit? It's so cringy, Molly. It is so fucking cringy. This is some shit people do when they've been on YouTube like 4 months. When they're desperate for subscribers and they're just trying to entertain everybody. Why do we have to do this? If Penelope is supposed to be someone from an internet, why does she keep coming back? I have no clue. A Shaney says doxing is illegal, correct? Can Nonsense take legal action? Yes, absolutely. The problem is civil legal action is expensive and it's time consuming. The best thing to do is to get a lawyer. You'll have to give them about $700-800 to go and pressure the police into investigating criminally. That's my advice. Anyone who's doxxed like this, if you can't afford the lawyer, you can call the police yourself, file the report yourself. The problem is, Molly has, I just got an email from someone a few days ago who is claiming to take legal action against Molly for doxing and threatening and harassing her, and have filed reports at the police precinct that is the correct precinct for Molly. And because that happened, when they called the cops, when they called the police, they hate Molly. They just hate. Molly has had so many people file reports and call down there. Eventually, they're going to have so many reports, something's going to happen, you know, because there's so much evidence of this. Molly is not scared to go to another human being who is doing a YouTube stream, threaten their job, their life, their kids, you know, their whole being, right? You take somebody's job, which she threatened Nonsense tonight to do that. You really are saying you want them to lose their home, to lose their cars, lose everything they pay for, be stuck in some, you know, homeless shelter, tent, or outside under a bridge, or living with family or something. And then you know what they do if they do that to someone? They try to go around and say that people staying with family, like they tried to do with me, even though I don't stay with anyone but my girlfriend and my kids. They want to say that if you stay with your family, that you're some kind of failure. Literally. And she did try to call she called nonsense a failure or a loser. I'm sorry. She said loser. It's abusive. She's the kind of person in your life, if you've ever had this happen to you with anybody, whether it's an ex, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, whether it's a parent, for God's sakes, God forbid. And if they tell you that you're a loser and that you're a failure and all this stuff, they are trying to be abusive. They're trying to make you depressed. They're trying to make you self-conscious. They're trying to make you unhappy. And she just vilely spit this shit at nonsense just over. I skipped to the threats, you know? Back when I showed you that video, I skipped to the part where she was threatening. But, you know, the point is that there's no reason for her to treat another person like this. There's no reason for her, you know, I don't give a shit who it is. I don't care, like, you know, if it's another YouTuber, if it's a family member, I don't care. Why are you going to be just that nasty and abusive for, especially when your entire channel is based on you proving to people that you're the best life coach. You know how to treat other people so good that people should pay you to give them advice on how to treat other people, right? And this is why a lot of people will say that Molly is a con, or that Molly's entire scheme is fake, because you can't be a life coach and at the same time be a train wreck. You can't be someone that gives people advice on how to treat others while being a literal dumpster fire. If you do, people are going to laugh at you. They're going to make fun of you for it. But the issue is, if you do laugh at her, or if you do say something she doesn't like, she's going to come at you and she's going to do it again. I mean, how many times are we going to see her do this until she realizes that she's either going to be banned for it or it's going to have to stop? And I think it's too late. I mean, she's done it for so long. What gives her the right? What gives her the right? What is different about her that's different about nonsense? Like, let's just use nonsense as an example. One adult living their life, right? Doing their thing. Another adult living their life, doing their thing. Both are married, according to Molly. At least that's what Molly said. I mean, she's the one that doxed the fuck out of her. Where is the thing? Where's the detail? I need to know this, Molly. What makes nonsense not a good person or a lesser human? And what makes you godlike or queen-like with your life? Everything I've ever seen nonsense say or do has been towards a positive discussion. There's always a resolution. There's always what you can do to make it better. There's always what needs to happen to stop other people from being put down or whatever when she's giving her commentary. There's a solution. With you, it's always an insult. It's always you being better than everybody else. It's always everybody giving you money. It's not you doing content and letting people donate. It's people giving you money. So I look at the situation and I still consider you both to be equal. I just consider you to be a very vile person by choice. You look at nonsense and yourself and you say that you are better than everybody else because of your existence, and others are worse than you because of their existence. Or what is it if it's not them existing? If it's not just you are God, or you are born the ruler of the world, ruler of the God King, or the Pharaoh of the internet. What is the thing that makes you have this position higher than everybody else? And what is the detail that makes everybody lower than you? I need to know this because I can't find it. I don't think like you. I don't agree with you. I think that nonsense actually is more respectable than you. She's nicer than you. Her commentary is so much better than yours. Now, again, when nonsense goes live, she gets similar numbers to you. And that's bad because your channel is way bigger than Nonsense's. Nonsense's numbers, if you look at percentage-wise, I think she's got like, what, X thousand amount of subs, and she gets at least 200, 300, 400 viewers when she's live. At least that's what I've seen, right? Now, if we look at the percentage there, we're going to be up in the 20 or 30%. Like, this is like incredible numbers. Because typically, if you get 10%, if I got 1 million, I need 100,000 views. If I've got 100,000, I need 10,000 views. If I've got 20,000, I should get 2,000 views a video. That's baseline, 10%. You're getting like 0.1, 0.01%. Nonsense is doing 25 to 35%. You know, I'm just not seeing how you're the better performer, the better creator, or the better anything than Nonsense. But I'd love to know why.
How should I say, drunk as AF? Yes, she is. I'm just gonna say she's drunk, and she is so mad that her picture and her name is doxed and all that other stuff. She is drunk. Hey, Justin, is she drunk AF? Yes, she is.
How is she drunk? I'm gonna go look, because she wasn't drunk when I was over there. Tell me in the chat. What does she mean? Was Nonsense drinking or something? Like, what's the issue? You're drinking right now. What in the world? You're literally sitting there drinking. That is a alcoholic drink. And you're gonna like judge Nonsense because you say she's drunk? Okay, who brought me to YouTube? Let's be crystal clear. Let's hear it. Let's hear her
Now,
voice.
but on my brokest days, I would never get online and
That's
beg
Nunya.
anybody to pay my bills.
Hey,
I just couldn't.
no way. That green dress did not start with Science Girl.
I don't hear her slurring. I mean, was she drinking or something? She doesn't even drink. She wasn't. So Molly's just lying, right? Yeah, Molly's lying on her. Just what is Molly doing? Being malicious? She's projecting? This is weird, Molly. This is what makes us watch you. This is what makes us watch you. Why are you getting drunk while you're telling your audience that Nonsense is drunk? You lie on people, it's not gonna work. Do you think that when you lie, it convinces people? Is that what you think? That they hear you talk and they go, yay, that's it? I don't get it. I don't understand.
She's not happy that her picture's out there, and she's gonna try and be like, oh,
I don't think she gives two shits whether her picture or her name is out there. She cares if you guys are going to try to harass her with it, which you shouldn't, right? Like you shouldn't harass her. You don't, right? Our top says Nonsense was not drinking. Nonsense says she hadn't drank in 5 years. I believe her. I can hear her in her voice being completely together, not even like slightly inebriated, relaxed, or any of those things. She talks to a point. She has these very, very, like, you know, when I talk, I'm talking for 15 minutes and I'm literally building on concepts as I go that all relate to each other because I'm tracking it all. Nonsense does that too. She'll track for hours like I do. Molly doesn't track for 2.6 minutes, okay? and that's the thing. Molly, she released her own photo. You didn't. She did. You released her name. You doxed her name. She released her own photo. She beat you to the punchline. She played the most. That's what this is. Oh my God, I just realized it. You're pissed because she got you. You didn't even get to get the satisfaction of your dox. She stole it from you and you're pissed. And you're trying to convince people that she's drunk because you think that'll give some kind of negative thing to her. You're jelly. You're mad. Oh shit, son. No. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. That's cringy. That is cringy, Molly. Lord, how cringy are you?
I was here for Marvin. Oh, no, you weren't.
No, that's what you said. She didn't say she was there for Marvin. She criticized you for using Marvin while you sat there and said you were there for Marvin. You said you're literally playing your own role right here, making fun of yourself.
No, you weren't. You were here. You were there to torment Letitia Bias. And I'm going to send this to Letitia. And I'm going to send.
Okay, hold on. How weren't you there to torment Dre? You lied about Dre. You are the one who lied, not Nonsense. Nonsense told and exposed the truth about Letitia. You lied on Dre to try and get money and to try to build a narrative. You're literally still doing it.
Send it to Lynette too. You were here to torment and ask for receipts, and you were here to.
How is asking? See, you can't even follow your own narrative, honey. Are you over there? Can you grab me one of my undershirts? Do you mind? I need to switch to an undershirt. I can't do this. Okay. Wait a minute. So you can't even follow your own narrative here, Molly. You just said she was there to harass Letitia, to bug Letitia. But then you admit all she was there for was to ask for receipts. Asking for receipts is not doing any of this. That's not what that is, Molly. I'm sorry.
Asked for, yeah, basically you were asked to, who are we talking about? We're talking about Becky.
Proof. Asking for proof. You realize there's no power in you doxing her name. There's no power in you doxing her face. She took it from you. She released it before you doxed. The only thing you did wrong was her last name. You put that out, which was why you're a doxer in this situation. And you threatened her and her innocent husband, which is, I think, what YouTube needs. Now, that husband needs to file a police report on your ass for threatening his business for no good reason whatsoever. And also, the husband and Nonsense should file to Team YouTube for what you did, and I hope they do.
Becky, yeah, we were here to talk about Becky, who wanted and demanded receipts. Yeah, that whole Facebook group. She decided to start a YouTube channel and demand Dodie.
You promised receipts, though. She demanded them because you lied. You and Letitia said that you were going to give all the receipts, that you were going to keep everything updated, and you said that you were going to do everything right and by the books. Ooh, that one of them? Uh-oh. You guys need to give me 2 minutes. I need to change my shirt. This is too good. Instead of going offline, whoever's idea it was to react to this, I love you. And by the way, support my show. Hit like, subscribe, and if you want to support, it's paypal.me/unirock. Here we go. Oh, I'm relaxed now. Oh, I'm relaxed. This is too good, y'all. This is too good. Molly literally she went over and she starts getting drunk. Let me go ahead and bring you guys into this, because this is like literally watching National Geographic YouTube edition. This is watching someone who got punked at her own game coping. This is called salt. This is called cope. It's where you had this plan to harass and intimidate a person, and they beat you to the freaking punchline and took your power away. And this is how she coped with it. She went, and the first thing she did was sit down, start slurping down a drink and saying that Nonsense was getting drunk, even though Molly was the one getting drunk. Then she said Nonsense was harassing someone by asking for receipts. Asking for receipts isn't harassing someone. So, you know, hold on. But we do know that Molly has been harassing by threatening. So everything Molly did wrong, she's trying to say that that's what Nonsense did. Because she's so mad that she had her little plot foiled in front of her face. Nonsense, you're going to go down in history, YouTube history for this one. You are freaking amazing. You beat her, Nonsense. You beat Molly. You beat Molly at her game. You literally were quicker than her. You were faster than her. You beat her to the punchline.
No. Listen, sweetheart. Don't you say doxing. Don't you dare say freaking doxing.
You are a doxer. You did. You doxed. You put her last name out, and she tricked you. Now you've got to face the consequences of doxing, but you don't get the benefits. She took the benefits that you would have gotten from doxing her away from you, but left you with the consequences, Molly.
You don't get to say doxing. You don't ever get to say doxing after what she did to Letitia. Oh wow, look at that. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at that. See? I'm eating all this good food and I'm drinking this alcoholic beverage. I'm living the good life. And all those peasants like Unirock and nonsense, they get to be doxed and shamed.
Oh yeah, we got the big ones. You don't get that. You don't get that, honey.
I knew it. I knew that's what she was doing. I knew it. Some of us make our own food. We cook our own food, Molly, and we're proud of it. We don't have to pay someone else to cook our food and then brag about it to people. I brag about my own recipes, my own food-deliciousness.
You don't get to say that after what those people put Letitia through.
Bridget says the comment in the live today was a full dox. Molly didn't even get that. And the So business name, she got nothing. Yeah, she didn't. She didn't get anything except the stigma for trying to dox her and threatening. Part of a dox is the intent, and when she threatened the husband and threatened nonsense, she doxed them. She doxed them, she threatened them, she tried to blackmail them. She said that if, now that she knows where her husband works, that nonsense has to keep Molly's name out of her mouth. And again, none of it worked. It all backfired in her face, and yet she still has another dox on her name for YouTube to look at. And she's pissed.
No. Miss Letitia is victorious. Because you want to know something the other day? When, you guys with the wrenches, anyone who wants to say that we're doxing, they're doing this, they're doing that, just get rid of them.
Oh, you have to ban people that are telling the truth in your chat about what you just did. Oh, the salt is flowing. You guys, anytime she acts salty, give me salt emojis in the chat, please. There are salt emojis, I believe. Oh, yeah. Anytime that she is pouring salt out of her pores, please drop salt emojis. And we need some right now. If you want rocks, you're going to give me those salt emojis if you want them rocks. I don't want to see no rock emojis. I want to see salt emojis. I'll give you 1,000,000 rocks if I get a bunch of them.
Not you, Dodie.
Chaotic says, Anita, and Molly sits alone. Nonsense had her fam right there with her. You know, I just feel bad for Molly. If your satisfaction in the night is to try and make someone else feel negativity, if that's the satisfaction that she gets, I do feel bad for her. I don't, you know, giving her anger and giving her any of that would just, anything more than just laughing at how ridiculous this all is. That's all you need to do. Because when you laugh, the salt flows, the salt pours.
Drew you off for a second?
Free rocks are coming into the live chat. If you want the rocks, you got to give me an emoji. Pick the emoji you want. The free rocks are coming. But the more salt I get, the more rocks you get.
Hi. No, anyone that wanted to go on out and make Letitia Bias's life a living hell, you know what?
Well, guess what, Molly? We don't know if Letitia's life is a living hell because Letitia ran off, changed her phone number, and disappeared. So, actually, do you want to think that Letitia getting like $50,000 to $80,000 of free money and then running away is living a living hell? You know, I hate to say it, your version of a living hell sounds like paradise to me. Hey, random person, here is $50,000 to $120,000 of free stolen fraud raiser stolen charity money. Here you go, random individual. I know you running away and changing your phone number is going to be the indicator that, oh, here's 1,000,000 rocks. It's going to be the indicator that you are in a living hell. I really got you by giving you that $50,000 to $120,000 free dollars for you to run and change your phone number. That is just hellish. Oh no.
I should actually do this video on the other channel.
Whoa! Hey, put down that knife, Molly. You remember all those videos of Dre swinging a knife around? Those were used to prove to people that Dre is a bad person. Remember? You don't want your knife-wielding fanatics I didn't say the right word there at all. You don't want your knife-wielding escapades to cause you to be a bad person, do you?
That's what I should do.
Hey, and don't talk to Ballroom Betty about wielding a knife, okay? Don't do that.
That's what I should do. I should put it on the other channel.
Don't talk to no Boom Boom Betty about wielding no knife, okay?
After what you guys did, these people did to Letitia Bias, and then say we only cared about Marvon. No, you had no.
No. You were the one that said that. We actually cared about the entire situation. We cared about Marvon's situation. We cared about Dre's situation. We cared about the kids' situation. We also felt bad at the abuse. See, we didn't pursue them. We didn't try to direct anything at them. We didn't try to go after them. We put our opinion out about what was happening because doing that is the right thing to do. You're the one who put the injected yourself into the story.
Oh, respect or consideration for Marvon's family. And if you cared about Marvon, how come you don't have any updates on where Marvon's whereabouts are?
Because I respect their privacy. I respect their privacy is why. I do care. I care enough to support them. I care enough to stand up for them. I care enough to correct the lies that are told about them, the family in totality, including Dre. I didn't demonize one of their family members inappropriately against all evidence to try and make money off the situation. I told the truth and reported what was there to the entire YouTube ecosystem, including my audience, and I just let them do what they wanted to do. If they wanted to donate, they could. If they didn't, then they didn't. But I didn't herb the story, lie about the story, manipulate the story, or go after anyone, dox anyone, or do any of the things you've done to affect what I would have gained from the story. And that's the difference between me and Nonsense and the rest of the creators out here. And that's the difference between you and Justin and Betty and LB and the rest of y'all who inject yourself into these stories and abuse them. I'm Unirock. If you like these kind of streams, consider subscribing. It's free. Hitting the like button, absolutely free. Make sure you leave me comments. Tell me what you want to see next. Tell me what you want me to cover. But the most important thing is keep an eye on Unirock too, because I didn't know that my Liver King video performed right. It performed good. And now that's incentivizing me to upload what happened today to Unirock 2. So I'm going to break down both of those videos, and I'm going to put them into a commentary video over on Unirock 2 for you tomorrow. It'll be out tomorrow. So I might be late to the stream tomorrow night, but I'll be here. Now I'm going to go get in bed and snuggle up tight with my lady and get some shut-eye, so that I can wake up, pump out a commentary video for you about this situation to make sure it's completely historialized and the truth is there, and get ready to come here tomorrow night and try to entertain you with a late night live stream podcast here on Nights of Our Live Streams, broadcasted on rockAlot straight from the main channel Unirock 2 on YouTube and Twitter at Unirock TV. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to miss you till I see you again. If you need anything, reach out to my mods. They'll get a hold of me. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm just really busy. So if you're another creator that wants to hit me up, do it. I like to spread the wealth. I like to share the love. Come on. You need some help with your channel, invite me on. I'll come talk to you. We'll have a good time. We'll have a good show. We'll put on a great show for your audience, and we'll get some of the peeps to come over too. Hit me up. Come on. Let's build a community. Let's do this the right way. Let's do it without the bullshit. Let's do it without exploiting tragedies. Let's do it just off of the basis of our commentary. See you tomorrow. Unirock out. Salty. 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 Why you so salty? Salty. Oh yeah. Salty. What? Why you so salty? Salty. Salt.
Sitting in front of getting fucking pounded from behind. Right? I'm just saying. You gotta have a fucking life. And now I know who you fucking are. And now we know your husband's fucking business. Oh, shit. Girl. You better watch it. You better fucking watch your shit. Is that a fucking threat? I'm not saying it is, and I'm not.
Salty. So salty. Why you so salty? So salty. Why you so salty? So salty. Why you, why you, what? Changing the last thing I say on my live streams. From now I'm gonna say, get out of here! Get out of here! You don't have any rocks? Well, I'm gonna give you all another 200,000 rocks just for hanging out, but you better pound them emojis. I'm gonna play a song that is 1 minute long, and when it ends, I'm gonna pay the rocks and end the stream. This is your last chance. Don't ever say that I don't hook you up, because, oh, I don't take from you like Molly does. I give it to you. Now I don't give it to you like Molly does. Oh God, I don't give it to you like, okay, oh God, I shouldn't have said that. I don't give it to you like Molly does either. Jesus, what did I say? What did I just say? 200,000 rocks at the end of this song. Maybe I'll do 250 if you drop them salty emojis. Engaged. Engaged.